morning. Jana here with Jana's Quilt Shop. Well, it's Monday morning and time for our tidbit. And I've got a good one for you. I've been showing you some of our 3-yard kits. And it's 3 fabrics, 1 yard piece. And they all go together. This one is so gorgeous. There's that one. We've got some new ones. But hold on, I'm going to show you something other than a quilt we can do with this. This one's got little puppy dogs in it and a trim and the little paws. And this one with the raccoons. I'm going to show you something that would be so cute out of these. I want to do one out of every one of these. Look at this, the contrasting fabrics. There's 3 in there that work so good together. And look at this one. If you want something for a man, here's old cars, red and blue. What man wouldn't like that? And then here's a small print that it's got flowers and stuff in it. It will be good for a woman. Well, look at this. I got a gift that was a pillowcase. 1 pillowcase, my colors, gorgeous. I came home, put it on my bed immediately. I thought that was one of the nicest gifts I've gotten for my birthday. And I thought, pillowcases out of the 3-yard kits. You could do 2. So out of 1 yard, you could do the base of the pillowcase and use the extra off the top trim, the top band. Okay, so that uses that yard up. Then another yard that you do is the body of this one. The top piece is about 9.5 inches left. Use that for the top of this one. Okay, and so to make them go together, you use this little flange out of the other piece that you're trimming there. That makes the little band. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it doesn't use all of this fabric up, which it does on the other pieces, but this 3rd one, it doesn't use it all up. But you can make a nice little throw pillow or fat quarter it and use it for another project. But it is perfect with these 3-yard kits. I love this. You could give this as a set, monogram the names on it, whatever you want to do. Or you could give them out individually. Like I said, I got the 1 and I thought that was one of the nicest gifts. So there's that one with the 2 in there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I'm going to lay them over here. And then here's another one. Look at this one. This one, I used the gray for the bottom and this little floral for the top. And these were all in the kit. See, they're already matched up for you. All you have to do is pull them out, trim them up, sew them, and you got them. Okay, so the band's here, like the body of that one. The body of this one is the top edge there, and the little flange is the matching fabric. Is that not cute? I would love those as a gift. So I'm starting now. This is going to be some of my Christmas presents this year. I think everybody in my family would love those. Now, these are florals, and so, like I said, there's some men prints in there, and we've got other prints for men. But look at this one. I love this one. This is a Bonnie and Camille fabric, and so I've got this one cut, and I'm going to show you how to do this. But this is going to be the body of the pillowcase, and then like the body of that one is going to be the top. And then this flange is going to match that one, so that's going to be the same. So which one do you like the best? You like the gray or you like the green? And you know, I'm not a big fan of green, but I love this set here. I think it's so cute. So let me show you how to do the quick pillowcase. All the edges are hidden. See that? The way you do these, if you haven't done these before, it's got a nice French seam on it. It doesn't take very long at all. They're all long seams that you're sewing, and they don't take very long at all. Okay, so let's set those over there. And the 1 yard that you have that's green, you're going to lay down and cut it off at 27 inches. So you only need 27 inches of it. And then the piece that was left on the other is 9 inches wide, okay? And then this is folded in half, but it's cut at 3.5, and then you press it in half to make your band. All right, so before you do anything, you want to cut your selvages off, and I've already done it on this, but so what you do is you find the fold, put it on this edge, match the fold of the band, Put it on that edge. And also this, you're going to go back and fold this in half again. And so this is very important to make them fit good. So you're going to do that, lay them on your cutting mat, and just trim this edge up square. Basically, you're cutting the selvage off. See how these are already even there? That's your first step to do, is to do that. And then, now you're going to have to watch closely if you haven't done these before. We're going to lay this over here, and we're going to start with that band. The top band, that's our trim. We're going to lay it right sides up, completely open. And then we already have our flange pressed in half. So with the fold down, matching the raw edges at the top, we're going to lay this on there. Okay? Match this end. It should completely fit. Okay? So you got that on there. The top edge completely open. The flange folded in half. The seams all matching up there. Okay? So then we've got to add this piece on. So let's open it up. And we're going to open it all the way up. And we're going to lay the edges, the raw edge of the top half of that on there. Got to match that end. Lay it all the way out. Okay, you see that? We've got it. Our top edges together. And then, watch this. This is going to be the part that makes all your seams enclosed at the top. And it's my favorite thing. Some people call this making a burrito. So you're going to roll it up. Just a tight little roll. Careful to leave what's underneath intact. Try to keep it all together. You're going to roll it up above. Let's keep it tight there. Okay, very easy to do, just up above this top edge. And so then the only thing we've got to do now, which is very easy if we take our time and are very careful, is to pull that up over that roll. We're going to sew these edges together there. So you pull it up above that roll. I'm going to make sure I keep the roll down in there and just put me some pins in it there. Keeping my edges all together, it's staying very nicely. So that, you see, when I get it down to sew, I'll make sure all my edges are laying out. There's that fold there. I'm going to put a pin in that so that I make sure that stays flat. Go all the way down, shake my back. I'm going to put one more pin in down here, make sure this edge. Once I get it pinned, we're good. Make sure that matches. Make sure my roll stays back in there. Got it. Got it, got it. Once you get the pins in there, all you got to do is flip it around now and sew that edge. So here we go. I've made up several of these and really enjoy them because all you're doing is making some long seams. Okay, I'm going to start sewing and do a 1/4 inch. Make sure I get a full 1/4 inch on there because I want to catch all those seams. So I'm just going to sew my burrito up. Keeping my edges even there. Do you need a close-up of that to see? Let me show you. So I've got all those seams in there together. See? All those edges. My burrito's in there. And I'm just going to sew all the way down. I'm going to pull my pins as I go. I don't want to break my needle at this point. Okay? Making sure I get a 1/4 inch. Let it stretch out there. Okay, this is just the first step, but it doesn't take long at all to do these. Especially because if you get the 3-yard bundles, you've already got your fabrics matched up. You don't have to wonder about what goes where. Just figure out which one is your flange, and usually you can tell that because it's matching. You want something that's going to match both pieces. Okay, now we've got to turn our burrito. So here we got it all inside there, and you can reach in there and pull the piece out and just start pulling it and working it. See that? So we're going to turn this, what's inside of our burrito, and you just start pulling it out. It'll turn. Look at that. Get that turned out all the way. You're going to be amazed. If you hadn't done these before, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so there we go. We got it. There's our top. It needs to be pressed. But there's the top. See, there's no seam showing. It's all inside. So now we're going to do our French seam, which is an enclosed seam. So you do that by putting wrong sides together instead of right sides together like we normally do. Let's put wrong sides together. That means the right side will be out. We're going to match these. We want our seams and everything to match here, our top edge. So I'm going to put a few pins in right here. So this flange, we want it to look good and match. So I'll put a pin in that. And that seam, that one seam right there, we want it to match up. Okay, so I think I'll do one more pin down here at the bottom. Got those together. And then you're going to sew this. And see, it's just some straight seams that you can sew pretty fast. Okay, on this, I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to back stitch at the top and do a 1/4 inch seam all the way down. It's a little thick there at the seam. Just go on through that. Okay, hold this out. Keep our seams matching here. Okay, you want to put the pedal to the metal. On these you can. Go. This machine sews really fast, so I love that. So we're going to go down here to the corner and pivot and turn. Stay back a 1/4 inch from the edge there. And all we got to do is turn. Okay, here we go. One more fast seam. If you don't want a monogram on these, and you're doing a set for somebody, you could do a his and a hers embroidery on them. Okay, now one step some people leave out, and I think this is very important, is the next step I'm going to do, and it takes a little bit of time. You could do on your cutting, take it over to your cutting mat, or trim it with your scissors. You see how we have some threads hanging out there? So if you trim this down to 1/8 of an inch, you're going to trim your seam to 1/8. It gets all those scraggly threads, and when you turn it, you won't have a mess. And since it's going to be double seamed, it does not hurt to go down to 1/8 on this. So I'm going to do that and trim my loose threads out. Okay, so bear with me. I'll do this as quickly as I can. And one more seam and we're done with this one pillowcase, and you could do a whole set in less than an hour. Okay, and when we turn down here, we're going to cut that corner up a little, cut it off so it'll turn better. All right, now, like I said, this is a very important step that some people miss, and then when they do their French seam, they got thread sticking out. If you hadn't done a French seam, you won't understand until you do it. But it is faster with the cutter. These are good scissors though, they're good and sharp. Okay, so we're going to go right on up through the top edge there and get it trimmed, because it's going to have some scraggly thread too. Okay, and then you get to that top edge, you're going to cut that at an angle and make sure there's not any threads there. It's going to be in the way. So you cut that top edge at an angle. All right, get our mess cleaned up there. And the next thing to do is to turn our pillowcase. It's looking so good, isn't it? And I'll tell you, when you get that final press on it, it looks really good. Okay, so you probably need to stick something in here if you can't get the corners out good with your finger. Put something in there, a turner or something to make it better. Okay, so we're gonna start, and all we gotta do this time, we're gonna sew a full 1/4 inch seam. So it could be a little larger than what you really think it could be. So here goes the French seam. There's the top edge. We're going to start over a little bit more than a 1/4 inch, I think. Back stitch, keeping this pulled out. We're almost there, y'all. Okay, we're going to go right through that section. Pull that edge out because we want our seam right in the middle. All right, get it ready. Go 1/4 inch. We don't want to see any of that seam. That's what is good about these. These pillowcases will wash and last forever with a seam like this. Okay, we're almost to the corner. And you go down and leave a 1/4 inch again and turn. Down. A couple more. There we go. Now turn it. Okay, I've got to lick my fingers to get that out. It's not coming out. Okay, there we go. It doesn't hurt to go a little more in a 1/4 inch because these cases are plenty big anyway. So you want to make sure you're covering the seam in there, in this fancy French seam. Okay. There we go. That's it. This pillowcase is done. All right, let's turn it. All we have to do is press it and it's ready to go. Unless you want to do some monogramming on it, on that top edge. I always make them. That way I can center them and get the monogram on nicely. Look how cute this is. So this has got the green bottom and the other one had the gray bottom. Let's get up here. Compare these. So look at that. Isn't that nice? Wouldn't that be really pretty on bed? Okay, that's my tidbit for today. I hope you like it. And if you want any of the 3-yard kits, come by the shop. We have those available. A lot of different ones. We keep making more all the time. And finding projects that we can do with them really quick. All right, I hope you like this. If you would like further instructions, come by the shop and we'll help you out with that. And tune in next time. Have a great Monday.